Right, today our overseeing Führer, Two Tier Kier, protector of all paedophiles, and various other titles that you want to give him, has announced his full backing for artificial intelligence and how it's going to revolutionise Britain and put everyone out of work. If he's announced that it's a good idea, you can guarantee it's not a good idea for anyone. If you need to do some research on the subject, may I suggest watching the films Terminator, Terminator 2 and Terminator 3. Don't watch the rest because they were crap after that, but Terminator 2 is brilliant and correctly depicts what happens if you let AI take over the world. However, before Christmas, Deloitte carried out a survey on 30-odd thousand people right across the world on their thoughts on AI in the automotive industry. And this is where Britain is top of the league. Nobody comes close to Britain on this. We are top of the league ahead of everyone else when it comes to being cynical about AI. No one in the world is more cynical than the British. I think it's a worthy achievement. I'm really proud of everyone that answered this survey and was as cynical as I am about it. Because it turns out that in... where are we going? China, 82% of people think AI in cars is a good idea. Whether that be for lane control or, you know, all the other stuff that it does, self-braking, self-accelerating, all the other stuff. 82% of Chinese think it's a good idea. Only 26% of Britons did. That's how cynical we are. And how proud I am to be British at this point. The most interesting one was self-driving cars. I've written down the figures here. Hang on. 52% of Britons don't want self-driving cars. They think they're an absolute disaster. 76% of Indians think they're brilliant. I don't know. I'm not sure India are that known for their driving skills, are they? For anyone that's seen any of the Top Gears when they go to India, it looks like hell on earth to drive out there. So they'll probably be glad of automatic cars because at least they won't be to blame when there's another pile-up. But nevertheless, Britain leading the way again on cynical things regarding self-driving cars. Because every time you see a self-driving car report, it's never a good one. It's always a bad one. And I don't know whether that's because they just don't report the good stuff, which I can't believe, or whether it's just that every time they try a self-driving car, it doesn't work. Now, Elon, the new lord of the world, who's saving the planet and is also incredibly into AI and wants to put a chip in your head, but that's a different story. He reckons that Tesla self-driving cars work really well. I've got to admit, I've never been brave enough to put on the autopilot whenever I've had a Tesla, mainly because it wasn't mine. And I thought, I ain't risking this in somebody else's car. Maybe that's the very time I should have risked it. But I didn't because I just can't. I can't. It takes a hell of a lot, doesn't it? Take your hands off the steering... Well, not take your hands off the steering wheel. That's an easy bit. But take your hands off the pedals and the steering wheel and let the car do all the work as you're approaching a junction or a car in front of you. But nevertheless, it's happening. And having, used lane control and braking control and active cruise control, they do work really well. I mean, you still get twitchy, but they do work. So that much, I think, is all right. But the full self-driving thing, yeah, I'm not too keen. And I remember, Keir Starmer says it's a good idea. So it's not. Because whatever he says is a good idea, isn't. It's a good idea not to investigate where the problems were in Rotherham and Oldham. And the reason it's a good idea is because he's involved. It's a good idea we don't know about Southport because he's involved. It's a good idea we didn't know about Jimmy Savile because he was involved. Just coincidences. All just coincidences. Forget that. This bloke's got our best interests at heart. Of course he has. Now, another question this survey asked was, do you trust car manufacturers with your data? Britain, top of the league? No. Yes. No, we don't. We don't trust the car manufacturers with our data. And why? Because they're going to sell it. Of course they're going to sell it. And they're gathering data on you the minute you get in your car. Any brand new car now, particularly a milk float, but not exclusively milk floats, but definitely all milk floats, are connected to the grid. They're connected to Wi-Fi. And the minute you get in them, they are gathering your data. There's several videos about this on YouTube where the minute you sign up to a new car, they instantly know who you are, where you're going, where you've been, what times you drive the car, how fast you drive the car, where you take the car to, how long you go for. They know everything about you. They know all your habits. They know what shops you go to. They know what supermarket you go to do your big shop on a Friday. They know everything about you. And they, you know they are going to sell that data because that data is worth money. Because data is the new currency. So, well done, Britain, for yet again going, no, we don't trust you. And there's a reason you don't trust people. It's because they fucking lie to you all the time. If you don't believe me, cast your mind back to 2020, have a think about it, and then tell me that they didn't lie. And here's a staggering stat for you from the Deloitte survey. They interviewed milk float owners and asked them what they preferred, home charging or public charging. Why they asked this question, I don't know. Now, surprisingly, 90% of people said they like home charging. And only 10% of people said they like public charging. And I wonder why that is. It's because it's less bloody convenient. There's less of them about than there is in the one in your own driveway. And they cost 20 times as much. That could be the reason behind it. You don't need a survey for that. So there you are. They've done a survey that proves that we, the British, are top of the league when it comes to being cynical about artificial intelligence. And for that, I am truly grateful. Because the British, as a whole, or as a percentage, as a majority percentage, are saying, en masse, future my arse.